Hi, this is Ron Ball. I am the president of the Ron Ball Group and the chief officer of RBA Research. My companies have provided up-to-date financial and business research to over 150 client companies for over 20 years. I have personally researched over 1,000 business ideas and business opportunities for my personal clients. I have recently discovered a concept, an idea, that is so simple and so effective that I am enthusiastically recommending it to all of my clients. I want to introduce you to that concept today. Recently, I was meeting with a couple named John and Susan. They had been referred to me by another client. John and Susan were enthusiastic and happy and bright and intelligent. In their mid-30s, they had invested all of their money in a brick-and-mortar store, an opportunity they thought for financial freedom and independence. To their shock and dismay, the economy crashed, and they were left with loads of debt and piles of responsibility. When John and Susan met with me, they were concerned about their ability to even make a go of the clothing store they had created. Well, I examined all of their information. I looked at their business plan, and both of us were aware that the economy was creating a tremendous sense of pressure on both of them. But as I looked at their idea, I realized that the simple concept I had recently discovered would be perfect for this couple. So I explained to them that they did not need to go the conventional route. There were other ways to increase their income stream. Now, John and Susan were very open and eager for something that would work. They were not locked into a particular way of doing things. They just wanted an idea that would create ongoing success for them and their family. Now, I want to explain to you essentially what I explained to them that afternoon. Let me begin by giving you a concept of economics. There is an economic theory known as the drain box, and when you understand this, you understand why income streams are so essential for your security, your freedom, and your ongoing financial stability. Here's the way the theory works. Imagine that you live in a large rectangular box, and you pour income into the open up top of the box. The box is open on the top, and income pours into it. Whatever your source of income, it goes into that box to fill that box with income to support you and your family and your dreams and your future. But remember, this is known as the drain box theory or the drain box formula because there are 4 drain pipes descending from your personal rectangular box. They are continually draining you, and the more you try to fill your box, the more these drain pipes eliminate your income. Now, let me give you the way this works. The first drain pipe is the drain pipe of taxation. The Tax Foundation recently calculated that in the United States, you now have to work until April 23rd, 113 days, just to pay your federal tax obligation. Now, that does not include state tax or property tax or local tax or taxes on groceries or gasoline or any other tax you pay in the course of any given day. That's just your federal tax responsibility. 113 days just dedicated to paying that tax responsibility. So that's the first drain pipe. The second is the drain pipe of inflation, continually taking your income and draining it out of your box. For the last 25 years, inflation in the United States has averaged 4.4%. Now, there's every indication that that average will continue, and for the next 25 years, it will probably also average 4.4%. Sometimes up, sometimes down, but an average of 4.4. Now, in simple terms, here's what that means. Let's say that today you're making $50,000 a year before taxes. In 15 years, at current rates of inflation, for you to have an equivalent income of $50,000 a year, you will need $1.7 million of personal net worth, and you will need a first-year income of $95,000 just to start. before taxes to give you an equivalent income of $50,000 today. So there's the drain pipe of inflation. And then there's the third drain pipe of obligation. It's not enough to pay a house mortgage or to pay rent. You also have insurance. You have health insurance. You have personal property insurance. You have taxes. You have local taxes. You have furniture. You have cable TV. You have phone service. You have utilities, light and gas, and you have water. You have all the other related responsibilities that go into maintaining a home. So you have obligations, and those obligations are continually draining your box. And then the fourth drain is recreation. This one is optional, but what would life be without it? You want some money for entertainment, for fun, for relaxation, for enjoyment, for personal dreams and experiences and adventures. Well, that's your drain pipe of recreation. It will drain your box depending on how much you want to put into that drain channel. Now, you have your box. You're in your box, and you're walking around in your box. And so far, your income has been adequate, but what if it's not? What if your box begins to shrink? What if the drains are draining you so rapidly that you cannot keep up with the drainage on your box? Now, what do? Well, you have two basic options. You can work for someone, which is called a job, or you can work for yourself. You have a basic decision between employeeship and ownership. Well, what if you choose employeeship? Well, let's look at different ways that people use their income to fill their box back up. Look at some of the typical income rates that are available today. If you are, for example, an attorney, attorneys average between $60,000 and $65,000 a year before taxes. Some make more, some make a bit less, but that's an average. A medical doctor, depending on location and specialty, that medical doctor will make between $80,000 and $125,000 per year before taxes, and he uses all that income to pour back into his box because the drains are in his box or her box as well. An engineer, an average of $52,000 a year. A school teacher, averaging somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000 in most states. It can be a bit more if you've been there for a lot of years, but you have varying expenses. You have responsibility for continuing education, and you have to use those things, those considerations as well, but you do have some income that you can pour into your box, but it's really not all that much. Recently, I saw a study of commuter pilots. Now, there are hundreds of these men and women all over the United States flying small commuter aircraft for the large airlines. The large airlines are dependent upon these pilots and these arteries to smaller cities. Well, do you know what the average is for a independent pilot working for an airline as a commuter pilot? Between $25,000 and $30,000 a year. I'm sure many of those pilots are living in small income boxes. So the list goes on. You can work for someone. You can have a job. You can have a position. But remember, you're always dependent on what's known in economics as OPDs. That stands for other people's decisions. Other people are continually making decisions that determine whether you will even have a job or not. So here you are in your box. You're listening to me, and you're in your box. And the drains are working 24 hours a day. The drain of taxation, the drain of inflation, the drain of all of your weekly and monthly obligations, the drain of whatever recreation that you have time or money for. All those drains are pumping continually every day, 7 days a week, without stop, without ceasing, without fail. And here you are trying to pour more income into your box so that you can have a better life. So you've chosen a job. You've chosen employeeship. But there is another option. If you really want to fill your box, why not fill it with business ownership? Well, if that's what you think appeals to you, then let me give you three further choices. If you choose ownership, you have three additional choices to make. Are you going to go with conventional business ownership, like John and Susan with a brick and mortar store and all their locational overhead, all their payments to the strip center where the store was located, all the inventory they had to purchase, all the responsibility of paying employees and their taxes. If you're going to do a conventional business, there are multiple income responsibilities that you have that will drain your box. So you have that choice. Second, there's the franchise choice, the ownership choice of a franchise. Let's say a McDonald's, a Subway, a Dunkin' Donuts. You know, if you want to build a McDonald's, even one, you need about $2 million of your own money. And then there is a limited training program. It's very good, but then after that, you're basically on your own. You can be responsible for your employees, etc. You are in charge. It's your business, but it's already cost you an enormous sum just to get started. So you do have that choice. If you want the ownership option, if you want to fill your box with ownership money, then you do have the conventional choice and you do have the franchise choice, but you also have a more personal choice, a third way, a third idea. And here's where this concept tremendously excited me. Now, I've been in research for over 20 years. I have researched over 1,000 business opportunities for my personal clients. I have never seen anything so simple, so clean, and so potentially effective. It just seems to work. I'm very excited about it. Now, let me give you a bit more detail. I believe the best low-cost, high-potential idea I have seen is the one I'm about to give you some more information on. Now, I know that we are living in a very challenging time when it comes to the economy. And because of the economic downturn that the whole world has experienced, there are many people who are looking right now for alternate sources of income. The pressure on people is absolutely enormous. According to the Administrative Office of the United States Courts, between June 30th, 2007 and June 30th, 2008, 967,831 personal bankruptcies were declared in the United States. That was up 28.9% from the year before. Do you know that 83% of all divorces cite money and conflict over money as the number one reason for the breakup of the marriage and the home? What about credit cards? According to the College Board study, the average college graduate is making about $36,000 a year upon graduation. Within 2 years, about $36,000 to $40,000. Now, out of that money, you have all the drains coming out of his box or her box. And College Board examining the situation said this: after $36,000 is calculated and all the deductions are made, taxes, obligations, responsibilities, the average person has about $34 left at the end of the month. So what do most people do? They charge credit cards. Right now in the United States, we have $1.5 trillion of unsecured credit card debt. 52 billion credit card transactions are completed every single day in the United States. 52 billion a day. The credit card industry makes $30 billion a year in just profit alone. Now, what does that mean for you? Are you looking for a way to get a bigger box? Are you looking for a way to expand your income opportunity? Well, as I said a moment ago, the concept that I'm going to give you in the next few minutes is so clean and it's so simple that I believe it's potentially effective for whoever would choose to try it. Now, let me explain how it works. It is an idea that is founded on three things. Number one, it is founded on the idea that there is a way to tap into existing success. Now, this is not an investment opportunity. I've already said that. It's a fully capitalized opportunity. We're not looking for investors. These people are not looking for investors, but it is a way for you to tap into income possibilities. Let me explain the way this works. To understand this, you need to know what the middleman revenue concept means. When companies manufacture a product, a tennis shoe, a golf club, a piece of clothing, a computer, an iPod, you name it. When they manufacture something, they manufacture it for as low a cost as possible. They want to spend as little of their money as possible making that product. So they take the product and then they go through a middleman process where they go through advertisers and they go through middle distribution channels, and it just continues to add layers of cost to the product. So by the time it gets to the consumer, all this money is already involved in the product. Now, how does that help you? Well, it's very simple. If you can find a way to tap into that enormous amount of money worldwide, if you can find a way to be a part of this middleman process, if you can find a way, listen to me carefully, a way to access some of this money as a middleman yourself, as a distributor yourself, a channel of distribution, do you see the remarkable income potential in that idea? Now, I have encountered people who are actually doing this, and they're working with partner companies like Nabisco and Sony and Barnes & Noble and Avis Rent-A-Car. These are partnership companies, and they're looking for some way to more efficiently make their products and services available to the end consumer. That's where you come in this exciting concept. You can actually find a way to tap into this existing success. This middleman process is already out there. It's already there. The money is already in it. You're trying to find a way to tap into that income possibility. Now, the second thing this idea is founded on, and this is even more exciting, is the possibility of ongoing income. Now, there's no guarantee to this or anything else. I mean, obviously, this is dependent on what you do with it and how hard you work. But there is a possibility of the creation of ongoing income. That's very exciting. That's what owners love to do. And third, it is based on the idea of a firm support base. I have personally met a team of professionals who have actually figured this out. They are doing this concept. They're tapping into this existing distribution process. They're tapping into this opportunity to take products and get them to people without all this middleman complication. They're actually doing this. They are trained professionals, and they are available to train you. That's what I love about this. You don't have to go this alone. You don't have to figure this out on your own. These are trained, proven professionals, a team of proven professionals who can help you do what they're doing as well. Now, this illustrates the classic saying that it's not what you know, it's who you know. If you know people who are doing what you dream of doing, if you know people who are effective at accomplishing what you hope to accomplish, if you could know men and women who are actually doing what you want to do and they're willing to teach you how to do it, you are miles ahead of the proverbial game when you can do that. So you have this firm support base. I love that. Now, this idea, this concept that I've discovered, that I'm recommending to all my clients, is in existence. It's even possible because of the current convergence of three things. Number one, the internet. The internet is exploding. To use a quote with bad grammar, but it really communicates, you ain't seen nothing yet. The internet is only a fraction of what it can potentially become. And the internet gives you an opportunity to tap into this existing success that is already there. And then the second thing that converges with the internet is the individual. We are living in the age of the individual. This is the era of individual opportunity. This is the era of individual adventure. This is the era of individual success. You can do this yourself without having to be a part of brick and mortar companies where you work for a boss and are dependent on them. And then there is the convergence of a third element, infrastructure. An infrastructure, a system, a support system that will hold you up and train you and provide structure so that you can just make the contacts and create the connections. The structure is there. All you have to do is plug into it. The convergence of the internet, the individual, and infrastructure is a remarkable opportunity for whoever is interested. Now, let me finish by simply asking you this question. Now, you may or may not be interested in this idea, but if you think you are, there's more information available. Let me tell you exactly the kind of person I believe is compatible with this kind of an idea or this concept. It's a great way to increase income. Are you compatible? Let's find out. Number one, do you have a natural desire to work for yourself? Do you have a desire for that level of freedom and that level of opportunity? Number two, are you comfortable with risk and hard work? Are you willing to go out and take the chances and push to the edge and see what you can do? Number three, do you have personal discipline? Do you have personal discipline? Are you willing to work and keep a schedule and keep a pace and keep yourself on that schedule? Number four, do you have big dreams? Do you have big dreams that are not fulfilled yet, but you really want them to be? Number five, are you the type of man or woman who can just smell opportunity? You can sense it. You know it's there. Then I believe you would be compatible with this idea. Number six, are you willing to change? Are you willing to try new things? The world is changing around us. The economic collapse is a reminder that we need new ways to fill our boxes, new ways to fill your box with income. Now, I want to encourage you. If you think this idea, this concept of tapping into this middleman money, this middleman distribution process, this getting products to the end consumer, if you're willing to consider tapping into that and being a part of a proven team of professionals that can train you how to do this, if you're willing to consider this, would you like some more information? Well, that's the easy part. Speak to the person who gave you this audio and ask them how you can get more information right now on how this idea works. And then you'll at least find out whether this is for you or not. I hope your box gets so full you overflow with the enjoyment of financial freedom. This is Ron Ball. Thank you very much.